So a big thanks to you also.
I should thank you, sir. You were there right from the first time we started Poetry Under the Stars. So you have supported us. I have heard the poetry of written by the wife, and now I'm going to listen to the poetry by the husband. So I think as a family, they're very sensitive and have a great aesthetic sense. So it's a pleasure to be a part of this program.
So let's start listening to Pinky Sharma now.
Good morning, everyone. This is Pinky, all the way from Sydney. And I would take this opportunity to thank Mr. Govardhan for giving me this excellent platform to share my views on a beautiful, beautiful work of art created by Dr. Santosh Rajagopal. And I'm pretty amazed. All I have to say now is if doctors can write so well, then I'm kind of worried about the creative writer's plight, because if all the professionals are going to start writing, I don't know where we will have a chance to stand. So it was amazing to read your poetry, Dr. Santosh Rajagopal, and I'm kind of amazed with the diction and the aphoristic style that you have used in your work. And some of them, I should be honest that my level of nostalgic feelings now has hit the roof because I'm away from India, and some of the poems really rekindled my memories, and I literally relived childhood through your poems. So I'm really fortunate to have read this. And to begin with, a fortune teller, although we know that they are going to be cliches and overused phrases, or, the same old refrains that they use, we still have some kind of a fascination to go and listen to them. So it was a beautiful thing that that has been captured in the form of poetry, and the delightful darkness and the way we play with our fingers during nighttime with the candlelight. And I sometimes do that with the light here through the windows with my son. And these are things that this generation actually misses out a lot, because they're all engrossed in their mobile phones or whatever, and thanks to technology for that. But yes, it's a beautiful thing. And even The Intruder, where a fly just comes in and then you're trying to squat it and squash it, and then when you're unsuccessful, and suddenly when you see a spider coming to rescue, it's a beautiful feeling. I'm kind of beginning to wonder, like, how can people have lived the same kind of lives? Is it the generation, or is it just like minds? Great minds think alike, or whatever. But I was pretty amazed to, read that as well. And I could relate very well because I've been through all that. And then the instrument box, the little geometry box that we get in school, and we're so delighted. We suddenly feel, as if we have grown big, and we're masters of something. We're going to do something big in life. So yes, that kind of entitlement that we get when we get our little boxes. Yes, I could relate well with that. And the dreams, I have to say, I couldn't believe, do we have the same kind of dreams? Many people, I believe in recurrent dreams, and especially the ones that you're looking from a cliff or from a balcony, and then you're about to fall off, and then sometimes I wake up with a jerk, and then I'm full of relief that it's just a dream. And especially the ones before examinations, you're either late or you don't know the answers, you're not prepared for it. Oh my God, I could so well relate to all these things. And another thing was the missed call. Yes, we don't keep in touch with our friends anymore, but then sometimes when we see a missed call, we feel guilty. We know what is happening in their lives, and still we don't know, we can't find time to call them, which is, I know, inappropriate, because we're focusing more on our lives. And so it kind of hit me a bit, and I'm thinking maybe I should connect well with my friends and talk to them, because I know that I lost a friend because I didn't talk to her. and I don't want the same to happen to anyone else. So that was kind of nice to read, and it brought back a lot of memories from past. And those poems, Dad and Lullabies Unsung, it literally broke my heart, I should say. And I can never imagine a life without my parents. I hope my parents have a long life. But then it literally broke my heart, and I could feel that void that you were feeling, that emptiness that can never be filled by anyone else in our lives. And when I read about Cynthia Rubin Peters, I was so curious. I was even tempted to look up Facebook to see if it was a real character and if she was really there, but I didn't do it. But yes, sometimes we have our own crushes and infatuations, and then we go back and we just go back in time and then think about it, and then look up on Facebook and connect and have a laugh about our silly emotions back in time. I really enjoyed reading every poem that was there in the collection sent to me, and I should thank Mr. Govardhan for sharing it with me. And I also enjoyed reading those poems that relate to a doctor. We usually deify and glorify doctors, or sometimes condemn them based on what the outcome is or the result is, but then we never put ourselves in their shoes and see what ordeals they go through. So I could see that in Pulse Polio and Trust the Mother. And yes, it was funny, and at the same time we could actually relate to the harrowing experiences that doctors do go through. And another thing that I relate a lot to is the gut feeling, physically and literally. I mean, literally, and gut feeling was really good because I have a very, very noisy and rumbling tummy. So this one was really funny, and yeah. I do run to my antacid as well, and that gives me a lot of relief. But then, trust me, this gut feeling can be an ugly feeling, whether it is physically or connotatively. And when I talk about the other poem, Old Age, I have to say that many people, although they grow physically, for them age is just a number, and for some people they never grow old at all. They're always young, especially for my mother-in-law. She has always been the same age since I got married. It's almost like 15 years now. So yes, it was a funny thing, and I can relate well to that. Even my grandmother was like that. She would never reveal her age, or she would say she's like 10, 15 years younger to what she's actually is. And to the last poem, Because why should you write? I mean, you abruptly ended with a question from your son. They're like, why should one write? And I would like to complete that sentence for you, if at all I can, because I think it is an open-ended poem. So because one should write, because I believe that writers live through their works for generations together, and we leave behind certain memories and certain things in life that people have not lived, and the newer generations will know something. They would be awed to know that people lived lives like this. So I think it's an amazing collection of poems, and I feel fortunate to have been given an opportunity to give my views on it, and I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm really happy that I got this chance, and I wish Dr. Santosh Rajagopal all the best in his future endeavors, and I look forward to further book launches or further writings from Dr. Santosh Rajagopal. Thank you so much, Govardhan sir, for giving me this opportunity. Hope to see you soon. And this has actually made me think that I should start writing too and compile my own, if not poetry, maybe some genre of work. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay. I take this opportunity to thank Ms. Pinky Sharma ma'am in spite of her busy schedule and out of curiosity, she is even ready to share her video. So looking forward, ma'am, for your participation in future thing. And we also wish you all the best to launch your book, a new book and new writing. So thank you so much. So let's,
sir,
yes,
can you invite Krish ji for the, because I know that he's in his shooting schedule or something.
Yeah, sure, definitely. It's your, you can go ahead, sir. So welcome, Krish Vinagopal, sir. It's our pleasure for inviting you to launch this wonderful collection of poems by Dr. Santosh Rajagopal. So of course, our intro itself has clearly explained about your multifaceted personality, and it's what we know. Maybe there are so many things which we may not be knowing. So we take pleasure in inviting you for the launch. Sir, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. First of all, I cannot put myself in a position to be audacious enough to talk before Jayantishri ma'am or before Santosh ji or before any of the writers. I would really say that just because of my crazy schedules happening in Hyderabad right now, because in between a shoot, I have a few other things also coming up. I'm really fortunate to be here, and I really believe that writing is the best way of expressing one's emotions. And I would specifically take just 2 lines because I wouldn't have the courage to go through every poem and talk about it, because it's a writer's baby. Every poem is a writer's baby. We cannot criticize another person's child, but something which I like the most, the last 2 lines of the poem Dad, that's the 11th poem. I would really compare it with the great classic writers who often metaphorized a lot of stuff. I liked the usage, there is a dad-sized emptiness, and that's put in between. The dad-sized emptiness, that personification of that feeling of missing somebody. I really have lived through that feeling with many of my friends, many of my relatives who were very close to me. Now I have a lot of them-sized emptiness in me. I realized that through that particular poem. And the feeling that the second room, it still smells like dad, that feeling, it goes beyond the ways of writing. Usually when I teach writing to students, I say, you can be kinesthetic, you can be visual, you can be auditory, but here the poem itself turns out to be olfactory. The poem itself goes to an extent of taking you to a world of a sized emptiness, because we do not personify emptiness, but here we also have that. I'm really blessed and honored to be amidst great personalities like you, but as the read a bit innovation, I will just add a few lines from Dr. APJ, the function we had together. He was saying, every birthday of your child, gift him 10 normal books. So by the time the child grows from 10 to 20, he would have 100 books, a small library. And let him take that forward as a legacy. And that would ensure that every house in the world has a library. And that itself changes the way we look at it. 10 books would not even cost now the price of a pizza, but that would bring a whole new world into the mind of the person who's reading it. In my case, usually during classes, I say, if you can spend 15 minutes a day, then by the end of the year, you will have 365 pages of writing, which is good enough to be a book. And during the lifetime, from the age 20 to 60, a person can write a minimum of 40 books. So I really look forward to a world where every house has a library, as Dr. APJ said, and every house has an author. And I'm very sure that when Santosh's children read these poems and writings, they would be inspired to write more, and we'll have a single home having more than 4 authors. And I wish you all the best. And thank you very much for the opportunity. And I look forward to hearing the others also. In spite of the time shortage, I will actually wait and listen to you. And Jayanti ma'am, you have inspired me a lot through your speeches. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It was indeed really a wonderful way to launch a book, sir. And especially you touched upon the benefits of reading habit and how it can be done in a simple way. So today what we need is a simple solution, because instead of giving you a lot of ideas, and if we are not able to implement it, it's not going to help us. But thank you so much. And definitely all of our members and all of our regular listeners who want to develop their reading habit will surely benefit out of your beautiful advice, which you have taken from APJ Abdul Kalam sir, and you modified it. And of course, definitely it proves to be a creator only can do things like this. Thanks a lot for a valuable time, and be with us, sir, and be shared with us. And not only on this today's session, I'm saying, be with us in our journey of developing and helping the society's reading habit. We need your support. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
And now I would like to call upon Raja Govindasamy sir. Sir, welcome. Welcome back once again, and glorify us with your beautiful, wonderful, what to say, so many things. And every one of our listeners know about you. And welcome back, sir. And we would like to hear from you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to listen. I'm interested in listening to Jayantishree rather than you, me or others. I'm keen on listening to Santosh too. What I love about the Read a Bit program is the way in which readers are encouraged to read more. Even those who don't want to read are enticed to read more. And today's case is a very special case because as students of literature, we have come across several poets and writers who were doctors professionally, both in America, in England, in other parts of the world, and in India especially too. Several professionals who had not done English as the major study have been great writers, and today is a case of Santosh Rajagopalan with his small bunch of poems, which I loved to read, and this morning read again. What I loved most was the plain English and the kind of idiom that he chose to convey, and it's all Indian ethos, but conveyed in an English idiom, which I appreciate in him. Dr. Santosh, I know because he and I have been involved in Pulse Polio program for some years, more than 10 years. And the poem Pulse Polio, wherein he talks about his experience at Bihar, and the open defecation, that's a major cause for pulse polio to catch again, are all conveyed in that short poem, which I love. And the way in which volunteers, doctors, and other people who have been moving around all over the country, and even today we have the menace of coming back of the polio virus, and how we have been working very hard in order to keep it away from several places. And so I liked his poem on that. What I liked most about the first poem and about the others, where the references are to mother, where the references are to village, where the references to the lullaby, and the rest of it, including the one on the old age where the doctor visits home. And the old woman says, when the doctor inquires, well, she's gone back to the maker. Referring indirectly to the passing away of the person. These are instances where you get to have a feel of how life goes on, and how with a small rearrangement, the linguistic confrontation with reality is what I see in the English works of Dr. Santosh. Therefore, I appreciate his effort. And it's one small bunch of poetry that keeps us read again and again. As I recall my own experience with these parrot fortune tellers, using the parrots, and the response of the boy is very interesting. Papa, don't give 10 rupees, give 100 rupees. What is the future? the generosity of the boy, or the understanding of the boy about the future of the person who tells the fortune, is something that I loved. And the pathos, and behind the pathos is the kind of empathy that the boy has for the old woman who is a fortune teller. Several such instances that I found in the poem convey to me of the simplicity of life, and how you can't forget all such experiences. Of course, there is a tinge of Kerala in some of the poems that I read out because of his background too. But I'm very happy that Dr. amidst his very busy schedule as a hardcore professional working for the World Health Organization, found time to be able to write so much in so little space and with such conviction. And all these make very pleasant reading. And I'm going to buy a few more copies to give away as compliments. And I look forward to the pleasure of more such outputs from Dr. Santosh, and wind up at the present with my hearty wishes to him and the thankfulness to the organizer for giving me this opportunity. Dr. Santosh, I appreciate your effort, and I look forward to the pleasure of listening to you, and of course to our friend Jayantashri. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Your words mean so much. I've been associated with him for a long time. We have met for Rotary meetings for Pulse Polio and all that. And also, I've gone home once to his house. I don't know exactly what it was. So, very great pleasure listening to you. And also to mention here that my brother has also joined. So, he's part culprit of all the childhood stuff that we did.
Interesting. Interesting.
So, he may be able to recollect a lot of things. But anyway, so we haven't mentioned all the mischief that we did. We have mentioned only the good stuff.
I loved this, being in the arms of mother. A lot of things brought back my own life as a boy at home, feeling so comfortable and missing it all even today. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful reviews and words. And it was really a very good experience for us, all of us, for taking us through some of the feelings what you had when you read the poems. So now I take this over to Uma Shakti, ma'am. You can share your views, ma'am. Welcome. And she is the assistant professor at Loyola College of Journalism, and she has very many good experiences, especially when it comes to, she worked with the most, there is spoken thing, that is Ponniyin Selvan, Maniratnam. So she worked in Maniratnam sir's office for a quite long time, and she worked in Behind Woods, and she has very many avatars she's also taken. Welcome, ma'am. It's all yours. Share your views.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Govardhan sir, for inviting me. And I'm happy to see Jayanti ma'am here. And last week, Govardhan sir has sent this mail to me. Generally, I like reading in print version. Always print version la படிக்கிறதுல ஒரு சந்தோஷம் இருக்கும். ஒரு டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்கை கையில எடுத்து அதை உணர்ந்து அதை ரொம்ப உள்வாங்கி படிக்கிறதுல தான் எனக்கு எப்பவுமே சந்தோஷம். ஸோ இது ஒரு காப்பியா வரப்போ நான் கோவர்தன் சார் கிட்ட கேட்டேன், இது பிரிண்ட் ஃபார்மேட்ல எப்போ வரும் அப்படின்ட்டு. அப்போ சொன்னார், இல்லை சீக்கிரம் கூடிய விரைவில் வரும். திஸ் இஸ் வாட் வி ஆர் பிளானிங் டு டூ இட் ஆன்லைன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ அண்ட் எஸ் அதை படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சதுல இருந்து ஆஸ் பிங்கி மேம் ஆல்சோ செட், நம்மளோட சைல்ட்ஹுட்டை ரீலீவ் பண்ண ஒரு சந்தோஷம், ஒரு கவிதைகளுக்குள்ளேயும் போறப்போ ஒரு காலத்தை வாழ்ந்து பார்த்த ஒரு பரவசம் கிடைச்சது. I really thoroughly enjoyed each and every poem written in this book. And my favorite poems are The Missed Call, the title poem, of course, The Miracle, Trust the Mother, Old Age, Instrument Box, Because, and a special mention to Lullabies Unsung. So these poems brought back my childhood as well. And I would like to read because it is relevant to us, each and every one of us. Can we write if we want to? Would ideas made when prompted? Why should one write at all? The challenge of the last line, and to cross the finishing line. The prompts are legion, but the verses are not yielding. As I close my notebook, my son asks, "Why should you write?" Like that Eric Siegel character, I replied, "Because." So it's a beautiful poem. நம்ம வந்து ஒரு கவிதையை வந்து எப்படி வேணா இன்டர்பிரேட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் அதோட அழகு. நான் வந்து இந்த கவிதையை வந்து எனக்கு who am I அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கொஸ்டின் நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே இருக்கும் இல்லையா? நம்ம என்ன செய்யறோம், என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம், வாட் we are supposed to do, what next, இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய கேள்விகள் வந்து இந்த கவிதைக்குள்ள நான் பார்க்கிறேன். ஸோ ஐ ரியலி thoroughly enjoy this poem. அண்ட் ஒரு டாக்டர், ஒரு மருத்துவருக்குள்ள இவ்வளவு ஒரு கவித்துவம் இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமான விஷயம். இருக்கக்கூடாது அப்படிங்கிறது இல்ல, இருக்கிறது வந்து ஒரு கூடுதல் விஷயம். பிகாஸ் வி ஹவ் சீன் ப்ரொஃபஷனல்ஸ், டாக்டர்ஸ் கிட்ட போனா அவங்க ஒரு ஸ்டர்னா ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் லுக்ஸோட நம்மளை எப்படி அணுகுவாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது. தேர் ஆர் ஆஃப்கோர்ஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்லி டாக்டர்ஸ் அண்ட் ஐ எம் ஃபார்ச்சுனேட் டு ஹாவ் குட் ஃப்ரெண்ட். என்னோட ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட் வந்து ஹீ இஸ் கார்டியோ, அந்த கார்டியாலஜிஸ்ட். அண்ட் தென் அவங்க எல்லாமே அவரோட ரசிகர். என்னோட ஃப்ரெண்ட் வந்து ஒரு டாக்டர் ரசிகரா இருக்கிறத நான் பார்த்திருக்கேன், ஒரு கவிஞரா இருக்கிறத நான் முதல் முறையா பாக்குறேன். ஸோ ஐ எம் வெரி ஹாப்பி. அண்ட் நிறைய பேசிட்டே போலாம், எல்லாருமே பேசுறதுக்கான நேரம் இருக்கு. ஸோ நேரம் தேவைப்படுது. அண்ட் இட் இஸ் ஃபெஸ்டிவல் சீசன். ஸோ கவிதையை வந்து நம்ம வந்து சொல்றதோட நம்ம படிச்சு உணர்ந்து அனுபவிக்கிறது தான் அதோட அழகு இருக்கு. ஸோ நம்ம ஒரு அருவியில போய் குளிக்கிறோம், we are going to a falls and we are enjoying that moment அப்படிங்கிறது தான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஸோ நாம அந்த கவிதையை பார்த்து அதுல இருந்து நமக்கு என்ன உணர்வுகள் வெளிக்கொண்டு வருவோமோ அது ரொம்ப முக்கியமா நான் பார்க்குறேன். ஸோ டாக்டர் சந்தோஷ், ஐ ரியலி என்ஜாய்ட் each and every poem. Thank you so much for making me to relive those moments. I did personify myself into certain poems which brought immense of pleasure and happiness. Thank you. And I don't have enough words to even, I better write about your poems, and I'll come back with a good review. Thank you so much for the opportunity given, and happy Diwali to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It means so much because I may not be young in age, but as a writer, this is my first book, and it gets such a glowing review from me. Is a great stuff. And may I also add here that the poem which a lot of people talked about, which is about my dad, it was originally written in Tamil, and I myself rendered it back to English with a little bit of changes for the aesthetics. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Uma ma'am. It is one thing is very clear, because the poems written by Santosh sir is so powerful, which made you speak in Tamil, even though it's the English poetry. See, only if it creates a strong emotional feelings, only you will start speaking in your own language, Exactly. So it is very, very clear. So one way we can say that it's one more certification that yes, these poems are really, really good, and it has to reach many. So yes. that is something. And in fact, yes, sir.
There's something I wanted to ask. Santosh, have you published all those poems in Tamil as well? You had mentioned in passing about something you had written in Tamil and then translated. Hello, doctor?
Yeah, the poem Dad was originally written in Tamil. I've written few Tamil poems, even though it's not my mother tongue. Tamil and Thaimozhi kedaiyadendralum, you can say that it's my foster mother. No, I have not published anything in Tamil. I wouldn't dare to.
Especially not in... If you lisp in numbers will come.
சங்கம் வைத்து தமிழ் வளர்த்த மத்தியில நாமே தமிழ் எழுதுங்கிறது எனக்கு தோணல. இருந்தா
if you allow me, I can do the translation of this poem, sir. I can.
Oh, of course, by all means.
Thanks. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's thank you once again, ma'am, and thank you once again, Rajagovindaswamy sir, for adding up. And of course, it's Sir Santosh sir, you should start writing Tamil poems also, and we will publish it. And so now we next go to Shanti Mohan ma'am. You can share your views and what do you feel about the poems. Ma'am, please, you have to unmute it.
A very good morning to all of you. I see a lot of celebrities. I'm just a teacher, but I love poetry. I have not written anything, but I love poetry and I teach poetry with great passion. I have known Dr. Rajagopal and his family for last 15 years, and I know how much they too love poetry. Because in our school, I work for Lakshmi School. I'm the senior principal of Lakshmi School. We have an annual feature called Poetry Under the Stars, where we just share poems, parents, teachers, students, all of us. And Dr. Rajagopal was always there in all those programs, and he shared poems with us too. Miss Soumya Santosh also writes poems. So I have been reading her poems, but this came as a wonderful, pleasant surprise. I considered Mr. Rajagopal and Soumya as youngsters. So I thought I belonged to an older generation. But after reading his poem, I could, as Miss Pinky Sharma rightly said, I could identify with every emotion there. It was, I mean, I was very nostalgic. I remembered every small thing that happened in my childhood, the emotions, the imageries. Of late, I've taken to painting, and I was actually trying to visualize and paint every scene in that poem. I didn't read all the poems. I chose the ones that I liked. This Pulse Folio was the last one. I thought it's going to be technical, but I found that there were so many ideas, so many emotions that I shared with. Of course, as others pointed out, Dad was one of the first ones that I chose. Then the Unsung Lullaby. There was something that struck a chord with me. I loved that. And then The Miracles, so many other poems. I think every poem seems apparently very simple. So that is the best part. Anybody can read it. And each one of us can connect and find 100 different meanings because we can interpret it the way we connect with it. So I think that's
Yes.
the beauty, Doctor. You have made us all connect with it in some way. As I told you, I thought age was a barrier. I thought I belonged to another generation. But after reading the poem, I felt like your emotions and mine are almost the same. The way you have connected, you've talked about your past, about even that suitcase and things like that. Everything flashed like a picture in my mind. It was beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm also waiting for copies so that I can share with students so that everybody gets the pleasure of reading poetry and just enjoying poetry. Sometimes poems are filled with such high sounding words that you have to be running to a dictionary or guessing the meaning. But this is apparently simple, but very profound. Thank you, Doctor, for such a wonderful experience that you gave. I should thank Mr. Govinder for having shared the poems with us because we could read that, savor, enjoy, and then get back to you. So wonderful experience, waiting for a lot more from you, Doctor. And you have sort of kindled the interest and maybe we will also start writing. I will start writing. Now I'm really tempted to share some of my feelings too. Thank you very much for that wonderful
Thank you.
experience. Best wishes for many more to come. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. In fact, it was really a surprise to me because all these 3 days, there was no thing. Like, I'm not sure whether you will be joining or not, but I know you're busy.
I'm sorry. So I was in touch with Soumya.
Oh, right.
Soumya is one of
No
my
issue, ma'am.
best friends. We
But
have been in touch. I told her I'll certainly join.
no, sometimes that surprise is also really good, ma'am, because when I saw you just logged in, it was a real great surprise. It was like a Deepavali gift for me. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And again, when everybody were sharing their feelings and views, but one thing was one particular point was connecting everyone. See, the idea of reading a poem or literature is to unify everyone. And at times we feel that we are alone. Only we are in this situation, not all are like that. But no, it's not like that. Everybody goes through a particular situation. Everybody has to come across such things. So that one thing is ensured when we have such a reading habit, when we read such poems, and it actually gives us a lot of self-confidence is getting boosted. And we feel like, okay, there are somebody like us and they have gone through that and we can overcome some. So thanks for that is actually this point has been brought up by everyone. It was really wonderful. And the most awaited speaker, ma'am, Jayanti ma'am, Jayanta ma'am. So everybody is waiting. Yes, ma'am, your views. Welcome, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So, vanakkam to everyone. Thank you ever so much, Mr. Govardhan. I still wonder how it all happened. Thank you ever so much once again for reminding me yesterday.
Thank you, ma'am.
I really do not call anything reading. I put it within quotation. If I had not gone through it at least 3 times. Fine. This time it's not 3 times. I could just manage only the second reading, but nonetheless, the impact is immense and intense. So, Dr. Santosh, thank you ever so much. And Mr. Govardhan, thank you ever so much once again for including me in this. I think everyone has been repeating one thing, that is you were able to connect so effortlessly with each one of the poem. I wouldn't go to that. I would rather say reading a poem is a kind of a very personal, to some extent, a private experience, which cannot be articulated completely to anybody else. Even I cannot speak to myself about the immense pleasure I get whenever I read something worth reading. And Dr. Santosh, yours was definitely worth my time, worth my energy, worth my effort, and it did worth my interest also. No, but this is a kind of a certificate. I'm highly economical when I give the certificate, but with you, I think I have to be. It's not out of pride. It's certainly not out of pride. You have a kind of a parameter, whether you want or not. It's always there in your mind. And the moment you have a book, you start searching for something. And the moment you're assured that your search will not be wasted, fine. That's exactly where the pleasure, the happiness, the excitement starts. So I think almost it has become a synonym. Your memory and your dream, they look alike and function alike, because you were able to gather the beautiful memories, and so they are good dreams, not nightmares. And even if they are nightmares, you put them in such a beautiful way that they are presented as dreams. So whatever you recollect as a memory may get back to your mind as a dream, or whatever has been once upon a time a dream has become a memory also. The first poem I could relate myself, once again, I repeat whatever other people have been saying, the delightful darkness. The adjective is so very beautiful. I never knew darkness can be delightful, but you did make a mention. I was reminded of Nizam Ezekiel's Night of the Scorpion. Maybe throughout all your creations, you have got this habit of mentioning the minutiae, the minutest detail has been recorded. And the Night of the Scorpion also gives this kind of a long catalog of pictures, one after the other. They come in such quick succession that they tumble upon each other, and it takes some time for the reader, at least for me, to stop at every picture, or the pen picture, or the word picture. I stopped there to recollect. And it talks about the hurricane lamps coming up. It talks about sitting right the wick. It talks about the suit. It talks about the shadows cast upon the walls. It talks about a kind of a fun game that comes out of this darkness. And the memory becomes so very bright, if I can use that word. Our memory is very bright? I do not know. But yours seem to be very bright. And you call it the delightful darkness. And all of a sudden, the electricity, the power supply comes back, and you are totally out of this beautiful, delightful darkness. And it was such an enchanting experience I had. I felt as if I was going through the dark alleys of Hogwarts of Harry Potter. It was so very beautiful. Each shadow had something to say. It was so very beautiful. And of course, dreams of a different kind. Fine, it touches the emotional chord, dancing lullabies. And the miracle, I was so very happy because as the voice in the poem, you just say that you need not wait for miracle. All you have to do is have an eye for the miracle. In Tamil, we always say, Parpadu veru, Darisipadu veru, right? If you are just a person who has been blessed with near sight, fine, you will never come upon miracle. But you have been blessed with a vision that goes behind the beyond, fine, then it becomes a miracle. And your miracle poem, I loved it very much, because you conclude saying that you do not wait for a miracle to happen. You do not wait for somebody to come and create a miracle. It has been there always. All you have to have is fine-tune your vision. And of course, yesterday is Valentine, freedom. I love the monsoon hopes, because especially when you said the cracks turn rivulets, I think you must remember that, right? The cracks turn rivulets. All of a sudden, I could see the cracks created because of the land becoming very dry and barren. And with the droplets of rain, all of a sudden it starts moving. It gets animated. The crack starts moving and they become rivulets. That was absolutely beautiful. And green shoots from the crevices. Maybe you made me hold on for some time. You never allowed me to pass on to the next word, and that's your success. Because you could contain me. Every word picture could contain me, and I was immensely happy. And when you told me that Dad is a poem which you wrote in Tamil, and Mr. Chris was making a mention of the dad-size emptiness, right? I do not know how you had it in Tamil.
In Tamil, it was different, ma'am.
I don't know.
Tamil, I had written, I think it was like Talematal cell phone, then Kare Veti, Naduvil Nabagam Mattu. That was actually the Tamil version of it.
Oh, yeah, right. And it looks equally beautiful, I think. But as a writer, translator, you have the license.
Exactly.
You have the license, which I think a translator will never be given. You cannot have it. And immediately, my thought was, how did he translate the dimple on the pillow? How did he translate? That's exactly what came to my mind, because when I was reading it, I could, I was taken aback by the appropriateness of the words you used. It never looked as if you were using words. The words were there. It looked as if the poem was born as a poem in totality, not that you framed word after word and made it into a poem. No, it was just ready-made. It came directly from your mind. So the Dad was, again, it reminded me of many other poems. You should not mistake when I say they remind me of something, because I immediately take it back to a very renowned poet who would have articulated in the same way as you have done. There was a bit of an Emily Dickinson in you. I do not know whether you know Emily Dickinson.
No, I haven't.
But you remind me of Emily Dickinson. You remind me of course, Whitman, because of the cataloging technique. And as I told you, Nizam Ezekiel, you also remind me, there was something so subtle, sharp, and soft about your choice of words. They are very subtle, they are very soft, and they are equally sharp. Totally things that cannot be yoked together. That reminded me of course, in Tamil, you have Kalyanji, who plays this on the emotions of people. Romba menmeiyaga irukum, romba vanmeiyaga irukum. ரொம்ப அன்பா இருக்கும், ஆனா ரொம்ப தாங்க முடியாத கொடுமையாக இருக்கும். So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு word use you have been making, that's beautiful. And your intruder, the last sentence, which just justifies tomorrow you need not, because your friendly neighborhood, your friendly neighbor, the spider, could help you, and the next day you need not remove the cobwebs. The sudden twist, it's almost like, oh, Henry, but that's exactly where the poem is. The crescendo goes on, and at one point of time, I know I prepare myself for the most unprepared statement. So thank you that you could use it. And the used car broker, I took it as the used car broker and the used car broker. Either way, it gave meaning. And it was so very profound, the way you described his dress when he is roaming around the place, that is in the city known to him, that's something different. But when he goes on as a professional trip, how he grooms himself, that difference was also very beautifully made. And your, of course, Pulse, where you say they are using toilets typically as any taxi driver in North India will be using.
I had to fight with the editors to keep that word.
Yeah, I'm happy you did it. And it was using, and I read it that way so that it can have the impact. It, of course, then your gut feeling, I expected you not to stop with just the rumbling sound, but also the eruption of acidity that simmers at one point and is brought to boil, and through your ears and nose, fine, you feel as if smoke is released and you rush for an antacid. Right. When I found that even a doctor does it, I'm sorry. I felt happy about it. I felt happy. I know it is very unholy, but nonetheless, I felt very happy that even a doctor has to resort to an antacid. And all day, even Raja sir made a mention of it. I think the real point is, the doctor is asking about the old woman's daughter, right?
Yes.
And she says she has gone back to the maker, and she concludes, after all his old age, the doctor is getting the response from a woman who is older than the woman who has gone to the maker. So that was again brilliant. An instrument box. I thought you will just add a line where most of us open the instrument box, not as it should be opened, but with the teeth. You open it this way. I was looking out for that. I generally do it. And fine. Anyway, I could add whatever was missing. Trust the mother. It reminded me of A.J. Cronin, because you always could get the prompt from your professor. Trust the mother, because her gut tells the truth. A.J. Cronin's brilliant article on When You Dread Failure, where his professor said that he would never make a surgeon. When he was compelled to perform surgery on the first aid basis, he had to push his professor and the statement both out. So I was reminded of A.J. Cronin's, you will never make a professor. Here you say, trust that is gut feeling of a mother. Then, of course, the last one, because the missed call was very beautiful. We do miss lots of calls, and we do miss many things along with the calls. I just wanted to know whether the fortune teller who said that, I do not know whether it is your Bharadwaj or Jai, the gem of, or it can be anybody's son who occupies a position.
He's there in the group, he himself only. So we go through all these festivals.
Okay. It was so much like Trishur Puram, or it can be
similar.
any Nadanulsavam. It can be any Nadanulsavam. It need not be Trishur Puram. It can be any Nadanulsavam.
It is one of those.
I think it was Nalakuda or
Nalakuda.
Peruvanam. Okay. I don't remember exactly.
Okay. But the only thing about it is everybody resembles everyone, and everybody is so unique. It looks as if the uniqueness is a common trait of everyone. I just wanted to know whether the fortune teller's guess of he is the gem of the family is the same old kid who also concludes with, why at all do you write poems? Again, in the beginning, I mean, the last poem and the first one happen to have one character, or it happens to be the first one is by one of your sons and the second one is the other. I do not know. I really wonder why at all I should have such doubts, but thank you ever so much. I personally feel, maybe I write or I speak or whatever it is, it's because I'm alive. I just have only that statement to make. I write because I'm alive. I speak because I'm alive. It's certainly not I breathe because I'm alive. No. Through your writing, it is so warm, so welcoming, so very beautiful. Thank you for the wonderful, wonderful experience, which I will experience again and again once a book comes out. I did not go in for a printout because my ethical stand wouldn't let me. And Mr. Govardhan also said all I did was make notes of every little poem, right? But thank you. It's worth. Thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I can't find words to express my gratitude. We all know how busy you are and how inspiring you are in all your speeches and everything. We constantly see YouTube videos and all those things. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. I don't have words to express my gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a real blessing for us, especially for Santosh sir, for every listener and for every members of our library. So thanks for blessing us on such a auspicious day.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
Diwali, and it's a real Diwali for us, a poetic Diwali. And along with you, Krish sir and Raja Govindasamy sir, Mahashakti ma'am, and so many. And there are so many experts are there, which even I'm not be able to. Shanti ma'am, I may have missed out. And there are few more reviewers with us. They want to share few words about Rakshita. You can unmute and share your views about the poem which you have gone through.
Hello.
Yeah, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah. Thank you for this really amazing opportunity, and feel so honored to be amidst such wonderful personalities. So this book, I can't really express how much I was inspired by this. Like I am a budding poet, so I'm so interested in writing poetry. So Dr. Santosh, I'm really happy for to getting to know what you have been writing. So the style of yours has inspired me a lot. Like they mentioned, the other speakers, they mentioned about the poem Dad. So I was like every single one of the poems were so inspiring. So I don't want to repeat the other speakers' words. So I'll talk about a different poem, which is this Freedom. So it was so emotional and so touching, because I don't know how you managed to do that, but you say everything so simply, and yet it has that effect on me. I literally cried on after reading that. So I'm really so inspired from this style. So I'll also I feel motivated to write my own poems and publish it one day. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rakshita. Thank you so much. Youngsters always inspire you. Can I request one of my young friends here, Vandana and Shabari? Shabari, can you speak a few words?
Sir, one moment for interrupting.
Yeah.
So Krish sir actually has shared a message, and so we would like to thanks a lot, sir, for your wonderful views, valuable time, and inspiring our readers to read more, and the beautiful idea of a gift on a birthday. And that's really amazing, sir. Thank you so much, Santosh sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. I've seen the message. We are much obliged. Yeah, Shabari, few words if you want, because yes.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a budding poet myself, and I have to say you are too humble with your words. This collection is actually quite inspiring to me. Poems that struck out the most to me was Delightful Darkness. Being born in the 2000s, power cuts are not something that I personally experienced much. In fact, I don't remember any power cuts in my life. But after reading the poem, it made me remember things that I didn't know were there in my memory. I remember my grandma making animals and picturing animals in the shadow, but I don't know if I made that up or those are my actual memories. So that's the kind of power that poem held. And another poem that struck was Lullabies Unsung. Now, a moment my parents are not there with me is something that I dread and I don't want to imagine. However, reading the poem, it made me realize that I need to treasure certain moments more. Being 17-year-old, my ma still makes my hair for me. She still sometimes feeds me with her own hands. And that's not something that I personally treasured much. It was just something that happened almost every day. But after going through the poems, I realized that after one point, those are going to be my most treasured memories, and that I need to remember them in details the same way that you do. And just as Rakshita mentioned, Freedom was a poem that struck me the most, because from my perspective, a lot of people's life seems like it's filled with roses and sunshine, but reading the poem made me realize that there are things that even grown people can long for, and there are stuff that you find missing in your life. Instrument Box was certainly the poem that I related to. I'm studying humanities at the moment, so history, politics, and geography, we don't really need to use an instrument box. So certainly seeing a compass or seeing a protractor, it brings me back memories from my 7th grade and 6th grade. And those are certain memories that I genuinely treasure. And to answer the open-ended question that you left with, because I personally write because saying certain things out loud makes me feel like I am a crazy person. However, writing them feels more comfortable. It makes me feel like I am not being judged. So I hope you write more poems and certainly publish more books. And you are too humble. You need to know that your poems are worth a lot more than you give them credit for, sir. Thank you so much for this collection.
Thank you, Shabari. One of her poems are much profounder than mine, if I can use that word. Anyway, one of these days probably Govardhan will invite her also for the young audience. Thank you. Govardhan sir,
Yes, sir.
Anybody
Yes,
more
sir.
wants to speak?
Yes, sir. Let's wait for. And in the meantime, one thing you have actually motivated to start writing. That's a real success for your book. And two more to write more, and the budding poets and also. So that's really wonderful, sir. So, and so you have shared the link of Amazon.
Yes,
where
I've
your book
shared
is
the
available.
link.
Yeah.
And actually, they can also contact me directly, or they can contact Govardhan sir. I will leave copies with you.
Sure, sir.
We can send it directly from you. I have some copies which I bought together, so I have some of the copies with me, and I leave it with you. You can send it to whoever is requesting you to send it. How many numbers?
Sure.
More numbers we will order online.
Definitely.
Yeah, available for sale also, we don't mind.
Yeah, exactly, sir. Exactly. Because even I have bought only. My author copy is only 3.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Don't give us
definitely.
compliments that we'll buy
No. We will give you after charging only. Don't worry. So what I mentioned was I had few copies which I bought as part of a contract. Then rest of it is available online also. So Amazon does still. I just tried ordering it. They're still accepting orders.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, all the dignified personalities on the dais. I'm Ramamurthy, a neighbor of Dr. Santosh for more than a decade. And as a family, we know their family very well since our kids being in small ages. Now, by reading the poem, the book and the poems of Dr. Santosh, he literally holds on our hands and takes us through all our walks in our life, right from our childhood. From the first poem itself, he starts like he takes us back to our childhood, and then he takes us to each and every phases and emotions that each and every human being will have in their life. It's a really excellent try and a success for Dr. Santosh, and all the very best for his all the future endeavors. We expect more and more writings from Dr. Santosh. Thanks a lot, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you, Ram. Thank you so much for the nice words.
So, is there anyone else who would like to share your views? So I request everyone to use this link to purchase the books, or you can directly contact me. You can note down my contact number. It's 98432 53826. I'm repeating. It's 98432 53826. So anyone else would like to share their views?
I would like to congratulate Dr. Santosh Rajagopal. I'm his cousin's wife, Shubha.
Shubha is an English teacher herself.
So the words, coconuts hold their holy water hidden, sweet and somber. Sun rays bless the leaf, leaves power our lives. Rivulets reach the stream, the ocean, and then the clouds. Now these words, it's like him. He has got so much of talents in him that I think every talent is coming out, one by one. I think he has to do a lot. He has to write a lot. I wish him all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shubha.
Dr. Santosh?
Yeah.
I just wanted to refer to point number 21 because it's good. And I just wanted to tweak the second line. Would ideas mate when prompted? Would ideas mute when prompted because you still have the birth pangs? Tweaking it instead of mate, make it mute also. I just loved reading it that way. Can we write if we want to? Would ideas mute when prompted? உன்னை எண்ணி பார்க்கையில் வார்த்தை கொட்டுது, எழுத நினைக்கையில் வார்த்தை முட்டுது.
அத அவர் தலைவர் வந்து கவிதைன்னு சொல்றாரு இல்லையா?
இதான் ஊப்பத்தலை கூடி உள்ள பெறுதல் அனைத்தே புலவர் தொழில். அருமை, நல்லா இருக்கு. அவரே சொல்லிட்டார் கவிதை. நல்லா இருக்கு. I like this response. This repartee.
Hello, I'm Girish. I'm actually Santosh's friend from Kerala. We have studied together and I have been in very close contact with him for quite a long time now. And we still travel together once in a while. He has talked to me about these poems of his, and I find that I read the book recently and I found it very interesting actually. I do not know, I don't know how to speak all that fantastic, but what I feel is that each person who reads the poem has his own reason. It's very personal way of looking at it. Each line might be different to each other person. So I think everybody can relate to these poems is what I feel. Congrats, Santosh, and thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Girish. So I've been mentioning two of my young friends. One is Girish's daughter, Vandana, who reads so voraciously that he can't find enough space in his house to store all the books. She's lazy. She won't write. I've been prodding her to write. I'm sure that when she starts writing, she'll write much better than me. But Vandana apparently is busy with something else, so I couldn't ask her to speak. Thank you, Girish. And she's also my best critic, as I mentioned in the beginning. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Girish.
Thanks, Santosh.
I would like to add something. Girish and Preeta, they are our family friends, very close. I'm Santosh's wife. I should introduce myself actually. So the thing is, he's our Annadata because I'm away in Madurai and he stays alone in Calicut. And so Girish calls him almost every weekend home. And they have a lot of interaction. They have food together. And really, Girish, thanks, Annadata. So I would like to tell about that. And one more thing about Chris Venugopal, because he writes poems every day in English, Tamil, and Hindi. So it's everyday thing. He's not here. I actually wanted to tell when he's there. And he has actually prompted me because when he writes poem, I write a reply to him in a poetic form. So that way he has actually prompted me and to write a lot, in fact. And he's been writing this everyday poem. It's almost like about 2 years. So he has a collection, like it's now over 1,000. And the books he has written and co-authored, it's almost 56, 57 books and over that. So, and he's actually a motivator and he's a well-wisher to the family. So I'm really thrilled to see him here. So just he's not here, but I would like to. I would fail if I don't mention him. And all others have joined. Like, it's really a pleasure to see all, and especially Jayanti ma'am. I'm your great fan of so. And Raja sir, you have given me a book about kindergarten. I have not returned it to you yet because I want to keep
the
it as a
lesson
memory.
should never lend books.
No, I personally want to keep it. I forgot. I should have got a note from you, but I'll come to your house and get something written in the book, and I want to keep it myself. It's something very precious. That's why I've not returned it to you. So as Shanti ma'am said, I was there in Lakshmi School as a kindergarten teacher and as a primary teacher, and I was academic coordinator also. That's the relation with Shanti ma'am and TVS school. So, and I've written kutti poems da எழுதியிருக்கேன், not big poems, especially for the kindergarten children because they are my world. So அந்த மாதிரி theme based rhymes எழுதினது, poems எழுதினது, she has told she has written a lot. It's all for the kids. So அந்த மாதிரி தான் எழுதுவேன் நான், only for the kids. So thanks a lot. Thanks Govardhan sir. We're very, as a family, we're very grateful to you, and and you're doing wonderful work for Madurai people, like
thank you ma'am.
That's really great.
One thing, Soumya ma'am, நீங்க குட்டி குட்டி போயம் அப்படின்னு சொன்ன போது எனக்கு ரொம்ப மறுபடியும் பாரதியார் தான் தலைக்குள்ள வந்தார். கவிதையில குட்டின்னும் பெருசுனும் இருக்கான்னு எனக்கு சத்தியமா இன்னும் தெரியல. இதெல்லாம் அக்னி குஞ்சு தான், இதுல குஞ்சென்றும் மூப்பென்றும் உண்டோ அப்படின்னு கேக்குற மாதிரிதான் இது ட்விஸ்ட் ஆஃப் விட், ஒரு டர்ன் ஆஃப் விட். ஒரு நான் தான் சொன்னேன், ஒரு வார்த்தைக்குள்ள ஒரு போயம் கம்ப்ளீட்டா வந்து உட்காந்துடும். எந்த நிமிஷம் வந்து உட்காரும் தெரியாது. ஒரு 10 வரி படிச்சிருப்பேன் நானு. புக்கு மூட போறேன் அப்படிங்கும்போது அடுத்த வார்த்தையில வந்து உட்காரும். அது இந்த 10 வரிக்கு நான் பண்ண பிரயத்தனத்திற்கு இதுதான் லாபம் அப்படின்னு கொண்டு வந்து கொடுக்கும். அப்போ அந்த 10 வரையும் நான் மன்னிச்சிடுவேன். அடுத்த நிமிஷம் அந்த 10 வரையும் மன்னிச்சிடுவேன். இட் இஸ் வெர்போஸ் அப்படின்னு நான் நினைப்பேன். இப்போ எதுக்காக இவ்வளவு, பட் அந்த ஒரு வார்த்தை என்னை எல்லாத்தையும் மன்னிக்க வைக்கும். மறுபடியும் போவேன், இந்த 10 வரி இதை நோக்கி தானே நகர்ந்தது அப்படின்னு. அதனால குட்டி குட்டியாக இருக்கிறதோ சின்னதாக இருக்கிறதோ அப்படி அல்ல. பொயசின்னு ஒண்ணு இருக்கு இல்லையா, கவித்துவம் வேற கவிதை வேற. கவிதைக்கு தானே நீங்க நீளம் அகலம் ஆழம் உயரம் எல்லாம் பாக்குறீங்க. கவித்துவத்துல என்ன இருக்க முடியும்? அதுல ஒண்ணும் இல்லை. பல நேரங்கள்ல நான் சந்தோஷ் டாக்டருடைய இதுல பார்க்கும்போது கூட எப்போ நினைப்பேன், வார்த்தைகள் தானா இந்த கருத்தை சுமந்து போகும். அதுக்கு the silence which is sandwiched between words that swells and shrinks according to the mood of the reader. படிக்கிற என்ன பொறுத்து, அதனால நான் அந்த once used car driver அப்படிங்கறது தனியாகவும் அந்த புரோக்கர் தனியாகவும் மறுபடியும் ஒன்னாகவும் சேர்த்தி படிச்சு பார்த்தேன். வார்த்தைகளை விளக்கினாலும் சேர்த்தினாலும் நடுவுல இருக்கக்கூடிய சைலன்ஸும் சேர்ந்து தானே கவிதை. அதுலதானே பலதும் சொல்லலாம். அந்த unsung lullabies அப்படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடியது மாதிரி unsaid words. All you have to have is an ear for the unsaid words. நான் இதுக்குள்ள இது வந்திருக்குமோ, இந்த வார்த்தை இதுக்குள்ள போட்டிருப்பாரோ, எடுத்திருப்பாரோ, டிங்கர் பண்ணாரோ, டெய்லர் பண்ணாரோ, இது அத்தனையும் நான் யோசிச்சு பார்த்தேன். இல்ல அதெல்லாம் அப்படியேதான் பிறக்கும் போல இருக்கு. எனக்கு வேற ஒண்ணும் தெரியல. சின்னதா பிறக்கணும்னா அது சின்னதா தான் இருக்கும், பெரிதாவான பெரிது. It's not the size that decides, the poesy that is contained in the words. Even the silence that struggles to get vocalized. அங்கேயும் கவிதை இருக்கிறதா தான் நான் நம்புறேன்.
Poetry under the stars இருக்கு, poetry under the stars மேம் சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ அதுல நான் எழுதினது மட்டும் தான் நான் வந்து I will read because I will not take any others. அது ஒரு motivation actually. So குட்டி இல்ல கொஞ்சம், but whatever I write I would send to Shanti ma'am first. ஒரு இன்னும் அந்த கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் இல்ல, பட் I would send to her என்ன எழுதினாலும். So she would actually be telling, wow, நல்லா இருக்கு, you are improving எல்லாம். So she is my critic as well. She is not here.
இதுல கூட கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் இல்லைங்கிறதையும் மறுபடியும் நான் அந்த வார்த்தை எடுக்கிறேன். எல்லாரும் அது கவிதைன்னு ரெக்கக்னைஸ் பண்ணுவாங்களாங்கிற கான்ஃபிடன்ஸா இல்லையே தவிர எழுதுறதுக்கு கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் இருந்துதானே இதெல்லாம் வந்தது வெளியே.
அது கரெக்ட். Even Chris would tell me, you write, what is your problem, you also publish. He keeps telling. நான் சொன்னேன், நான் பப்ளிஷிங் எல்லாம் இல்ல.
மேபி அது கொஞ்சம் குரூயலான ஒரு முடிவுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நானு. ஏன்னா அன்டில் மிஸ்டர் கிரிதர் எனக்கு இது கோவர்தன் சாரி மிஸ்டர் கோவர்தன் எனக்கு இதை கொடுக்கிற வரைக்கும் இதை சொல்ற வரைக்கும் எனக்கு உண்மையாக தெரியாது. இது பல நேரங்கள் அப்படிதான் கூறிய பிச்சுக்கிட்டு கொடுக்கிற தெய்வம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது சில சமயம் போன் வழியா கூட வந்து கொடுத்துட்டு போகும்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான். ஒரு போன் மெசேஜ் மூலமாக வந்து இதை படிக்க சொல்லி நேற்று ராத்திரியும் இன்னைக்கு காலையிலயும் படிக்கும் பொழுது இல்ல நான் மறுபடியும் அதுக்குள்ள போகணும். ஆழ்ந்து அமிழ்ந்து 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 போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் ஐ வில் பிகம் இண்டிபெண்டன்ட் ஆஃப் த புக். இல்லைன்னா ரொம்ப நச்சரிக்கும், தலைக்குள்ள கொடையும், திருப்பி திருப்பி நீ 2வது தடவை 3வது தடவைக்கு வா அப்படின்னு. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். நீங்க உங்களுடைய கவிதைகள் யாருடைய கவிதைகளாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, அது கவிதை இருக்கிறதுனால தான் உங்களை விட்டு வெளியில வந்தது. கவிதையா இல்லையான்னு முடிவு பண்ற கிரிட்டிக் அது அது வேற இனமாக தான் நான் பாக்குறேன் அவங்கள. அது அவங்க வேற டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பிரீட். நான் சொல்லுவேனே, no amount of reading Shakespeare, no amount of criticizing Shakespeare will make a Shakespeare of me. இல்லையா? அது எத்தனை நாள் ஒரு கவிதையை பத்தி பேசினாலும் நான் ஒரு கவிதை எழுத முடியுமான்னு தெரியணும்ல.
ஜெயந்தஸ்ரீ மேம் வந்து ஜெயந்தஸ்ரீ மேம் பேசுற தமிழே ஒரு கவிதை தான்.
அது உங்களுடைய பெருந்தன்மை, அது உங்களுடைய பெருந்தன்மை, அது உங்களுடைய பெருந்தன்மை.
நீங்க அதே மாதிரிதான் யோசிக்கிறீங்க, சுவாசிக்கிறீங்க. So அந்த பிராக்டிஸே உங்களை இந்த லெவலுக்கு கொண்டு வந்துருச்சு. That is one thing, and you are so selfless because the time you spend is for others more than yours. That's what we feel.
இல்ல உங்களுடைய அன்பின் மிகுதின்னு மட்டும் தான் சொல்றேன். அன்பின் மிகுதின்னு மட்டும் தான் நான் சொல்றேன். கட்டுப்படியாகாத எதையும் கொடுக்காத அளவுக்கு தான் நானும் சுயநலம். இதுல மேத்தமேட்டிக் டிவிடன்ஸ் எனக்கு ரொம்ப அதிகமா கிடைச்சிருக்கு. இந்த புத்தகத்துல இருந்து ரொம்ப பெரிய டிவிடன்ஸ் கிடைச்சிருக்கு. கண் கசியற அளவுக்கு அவ்வளவு அழகா அந்த கொலாப்சபிள் கேட்ஸ் அலோவ் பண்றது கூட அவங்க அப்பா வரும்பொழுது ட்ரெட்டிங் அந்த வீட்டு முன்னால் இருக்கிற சாக்கடை தோன்றதுக்காக போட்டிருந்த கான்கிரீட் ஸ்லாப நகர்த்திட்டு போட்டிருக்க கூடிய அந்த அயர்ன் ஒன், அது மேல ஹவ் யூ டிப்டோ. ஏன்னா அந்த அந்த காட்சிக்குள்ளே திருப்பி திருப்பி அவர் என்ன கொண்டு கொண்டு போறாரு. அதனால ஒரு இத்தனை போயம்குள்ள எத்தனை தடவை மூங்கி எழுந்திருப்பேன் நான். அப்சல்யூட்லி பியூட்டிஃபுல். எனக்கு வார்த்தை இல்ல சார். அதனால ஐம் சாரி சொல்ற மாதிரி இருக்கலாம்.
Soumya ma'am, so when Jayanta ma'am was sharing something like the poem on the no need to be lengthy, but it need to be more powerful. நீங்க நம்ம ஔவையாரே எடுத்துக்கோங்களேன், ஆத்திச்சூடி எழுதியிருக்காங்க, 2 வார்த்தையில முடிச்சுட்டாங்க, அவ்வளவு பவர்ஃபுல். சோ அதுதான் எனக்கு ஞாபகப்படுத்தினாங்க அவங்க சொல்ற வார்த்தை. அதுதான் அவங்களோட பவர். அதாவது அவங்க ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்னா எங்களுக்கு பல விஷயங்கள் எங்களுக்கு ஞாபகப்படுத்துது. பாத்தீங்களா? தட் இஸ் யுவர் கிஃப்ட் மேம். இட்ஸ் so powerful way of communicating things. And in fact, thanks ma'am, Jayanta ma'am, for reminding me, because அவங்க பிங்கி ஷமா after sending the video, she has sent a message. நீங்க இப்போ ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் நீங்க ஞாபகமே வந்தது. சந்தோஷ் சார், she has mentioned that I also want to mention that his poetry is in par with Nissim Ezekiel's Night of the Scorpion and Toru Dutt's Casuarina tree. Casuarina tree, which bring back childhood memories for many of the literature students. நான் என்ன நினைச்சேன், நீங்களும் பிங்கி மேம் ஏதோ பேசிட்டீங்க போல இருக்கு.
இல்லடா
இல்ல, it was so exact. What you said is exact. As if I thought she is speaking now. அதே வார்த்தைகளும் அதே ஆத்தர் அதே இது மென்ஷன் பண்ணோன்னு was really really, sir, it all proves that you have created a big impact, and definitely
thank you
நன்றி மிக்க நன்றி
thank you all.
So I hope if anybody has nothing to share, or even if you would like to share, you can just come back to us, because we are going to have such programs regularly. And I request each and every participant to motivate such good things by buying the books and gifting such books to all your friends and family. So once again,
teachers have joined, sir. A lot of my friend teachers, like Aligu Meenakshi, who is a coordinator, TVS la. Selva Mari, she is a teacher. So I purposely want all the teachers to join, so that they are teaching children. அப்ப அந்த young age லயே அவங்களுக்கு அந்த சின்ன சின்ன குட்டியா எழுதுறது, அது they have to build up. So that's why I've invited a lot of teachers here. Uma Maheshwari ma'am, she's a principal. So a lot of people who are in touch with the younger generation, I want all of them. That's a request from my side. ப்ளீஸ் சின்னத்துலேருந்தே குழந்தைகளுக்கு அந்த ஒரு என்ன தோணுறதோ அதை எழுதுற அந்த ஒரு that they should all what is it
Daily
create
bread.
in the children இல்லையா that's there so I'm so passionate thank you Aragu
Thank you everyone. My friend Kala has come
to listen to such a nice.
Yes, ma'am. உங்க
So
audio
much.
கொஞ்சம் break ஆகுது. பேசுங்க.
I want to thank for the wonderful opportunity given, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
I haven't read the book yet, but sure we'll read, and as how ma'am expects, we'll inculcate the same in the younger generation. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you. A lot of my friends and classmates have joined. I'm just actually going through the list of participants even now. Dr. Sudha, Kala, a lot of my friends and classmates. Big thanks to everyone for the support.
and
Now,
we have Sriram
as
from
ever,
Seattle who is joined.
my cousin Sriram from Seattle. It's a very crazy time in US to join, but thank you very much for the support. Thank you all.
Thank you everyone, and wish you a very happy, wonderful Diwali.
Happy
Thanks
Diwali, everyone. Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali to everyone. Spread the light of love and peace. That's what the world needs now.
Happy Diwali.
Thanks. Happy Diwali and happy weekend.
Thank you so much, Raja sir, Jayanti sir. No words to
pleasure.
express us. We are very, very, very grateful to all of you. Thanks.
We had a great day with Dr. Santosh and all of you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uma ma'am. I haven't, I really don't know about you. So, but still, I heard your talks. So inspiring.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's everything.
Thank you so much.
It goes to you. The way you are
Nothing, ma'am.
motivating people, nobody can do it. And especially in Madurai. You're doing a
It's a
great
small
job.
effort from my side, ma'am.
All
Definitely.
blessings of
Thank
God
you.
be on you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Bye.